Hi, hello, welcome back. Let's be familiar with John Keats' poem, Ode on a Grecian Urn. Ode on a Grecian Urn, written in 1819, published in 1820. John Keats, 1795-1821. John Keats is a writer belonging to the Romantic period of English literature. The history of English language and literature is divided mainly into three periods: Old English period, Middle English period, and a Modern English period. English language and literature. Old English period 450 AD to 1066 AD. Middle English period 1066 AD to 1500 AD. Modern English period 1550 AD to the present. So the Romantic period is a subcategory of Modern English period. Romantic period spans from 1798 AD to 1837 AD. It is a subcategory of Modern English period. Early 19th century literature is dominated by the Romantic movement. It began in 1798 and ended in 1837. There are some central features of Romanticism. These include giving importance to emotions and imaginations and dreams, giving importance of self-expression and individual feelings. The Romantic poets viewed nature as God or mother. There are two generations of Romantic poets. The first generation Romantic writers include William Wordsworth, Samuel Taylor Coleridge, and Robert Southey. The second generation Romantic poets include Lord Byron, Shelley, and John Keats. John Keats' poetry is characterized by sensual imagery. His most notable works are the series of 6 odes that he has composed. An ode is a type of lyric poem, that is musical poem, that expresses the speaker's emotions about a person, place, object, or idea. Odes are often formal and they are known for being serious and reflective. Odes are often written in first-person point of view. John Keats' famous odes include Ode on a Nightingale, Ode on a Grecian Urn, Ode to Psyche, Ode on Melancholy, etc. John Keats had a very short life. He lived only 26 years. Before his career as a poet, John Keats was a medical student, but then he left medicine for writing poetry. He fell in love with Fanny Brown, but because of his disease, he couldn't marry her. He was ill with tuberculosis. So Fanny Brown appears as a sad memory in many of his poems. At the age of 26, John Keats died of tuberculosis. Ode on a Grecian Urn, written in 1819, published in 1820. John Keats, 1795-1821. Ode on a Grecian Urn is a poem written in May 1819, first published anonymously in Annals of the Fine Arts in 1819. Annals means a record or record of events year by year. Later, John Keats published the poem under his name in 1820. An ode is a type of lyric poem, that is, musical poems that expresses the speaker's emotions about a person, place, object, or idea. Odes are often formal and they are known for being serious and reflective. Odes are often written in first-person point of view. A Grecian means relating to ancient Greece or Greek culture, especially its architecture or art. Greece is a country in Southeast Europe. Greece is the country where the Greek people live, and the people who live in Greece are called the Greeks. John Keats perceived the idealism and representation of Greek virtues in classical Greek art, and here it is seen in the form of an urn. An urn is a tall, rounded vase with a stem and a base. You can see what is an urn. Here is a picture. By the spring of 1819, John Keats had left his job as assistant house surgeon at a Guy's Hospital, London, to devote himself entirely to writing poetry. Then he wrote his 6 main odes. The idea of using classical Greek art as a metaphor originated in his reading of Benjamin Haydon's 2 articles of 1819. So the inspiration for the poem comes from Benjamin Haydon's 2 articles of 1819. The urn here is a metaphor for art in general. The artist will die, but the art will live forever. Five stanzas of 10 lines each. There is 5 into 10, that is 15 lines in total. The technique of the poem is ekphrasis. The word ekphrasis comes from a Greek word which means a written description of a work of art produced as a literary experience. In short, ekphrasis means an art about another art. Here the poem is an art of the poet John Keats, and the poem is based on the painting on a pot or an urn. So the poem is about an art. The poem reflects upon 2 scenes. The first one in which a lover pursues his beloved. The second one, another, where villagers and a priest gather to perform a sacrifice. Here, an undefined speaker, maybe the poet John Keats himself, looks at a Grecian urn which is decorated with evocative images of rustic and rural life in ancient Greece. The poet concludes that the urn will say to future generations of mankind, beauty is truth, truth, beauty. The rhyme scheme. First and fifth stanzas are rhymed A, B, A, B, C, D, E, D, C, E. Second and third and fourth stanzas are rhymed A, B, A, B, C, D, E, C, D, E. Then the central paradox of the poem. A paradox means when 2 contradictory statements are true at the same time. Here John Keats uses paradox to describe the paradoxical nature of art, which is both alive and dead. For example, he says, beauty is truth, truth, beauty. So paradox is a statement that will look like a false, but when we think deeply, that statement will be true indeed. Summary of the poem. The poem explores the timeless beauty and mystery of an ancient Greek urn. The speaker marvels at the urn's silent storytelling through its painted images. He describes the urn as bride. The urn is also called a foster child. The urn preserves the stories of the past. The first scene on the urn depicts young lovers running. The speaker wonders who they are and from where they come. The scene is full of excitement, yet remains forever unfinished. The lovers will never grow old. Then the poet praises the piping youth playing a flute. The speaker calls this melody sweeter melody than audible ones. The music will go on forever. The trees on the urn will never shed their leaves and will remain evergreen. The speaker feels jealousy about the figure's eternal youth and happiness. The second scene shows a sacrificial ritual. The priest leads a heifer, that means a small goat, to be sacrificed. The scene suggests religious devotion. The town from which the people come is forever empty. The poet acknowledges that beauty and truth are intertwined. The famous final lines state that beauty is truth, truth, beauty. The urn teaches that aesthetic beauty holds eternal significance. The poem contrasts human mortality. Mortality means something that dies, with the art's immortality. Immortality means something that has no death. The urn remains unchanged as generations pass. The speaker experiences both joy and sorrow. Sorrow he experiences because he couldn't live long and marry Fanny Brown. The lover's eternal moment contrasts with real-life change. The poem suggests that art captures idealized truth. The urn symbolizes art's power and limitations.